In the 1700s, America was made up of 13 British colonies along the Atlantic coast. Life was simple, but controlled by a distant king across the ocean, King George III of Britain. The colonists paid heavy taxes, yet had no voice in the British government. Slowly, frustration began to grow. Taxation without representation. That phrase became the cry of resistance. The people wanted freedom to govern themselves, but the British Crown refused. Then came an act that lit the fire of revolution, the Boston Tea Party. On a freezing December night in 1773, a group of patriots climbed aboard British ships and dumped over 300 chests of tea into the harbor. It was a message to the king: we will not be silenced. The British government struck back hard. Soldiers filled the streets of Boston. Tensions exploded, but instead of breaking the colonies, it united them. From Virginia to Massachusetts, men began to whisper a dangerous word: revolution. On the night of April 18, 1775, a silversmith named Paul Revere galloped through the darkness shouting, "The British are coming! The British are coming!" His warning reached farmers and blacksmiths, who rose from their beds, grabbed their muskets, and prepared to fight. At sunrise, in the town of Lexington, the first shots were fired. No one knows who pulled the trigger, but that gunfire became known as the shot heard around the world. The American Revolution had begun. The war that followed was fierce and uncertain. The colonists had little training, few weapons, and no navy, yet they refused to surrender. Leading them was a tall, determined Virginian named George Washington, who united the militias into the Continental Army. Through cold, hunger, and countless defeats, they held on, because they believed in one dream: freedom. In July 1776, representatives from the 13 colonies gathered in Philadelphia. There, Thomas Jefferson wrote words that would change history. "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal." With those words, they declared independence from Britain and gave birth to a new nation, the United States of America. But freedom came at a cost. Winters were brutal. Supplies were scarce. Many soldiers had no shoes, no food, no pay. Yet they marched on, driven by faith and by the promise of a better tomorrow. After 6 long years of struggle, victory finally came in 1781 at Yorktown, Virginia. British General Cornwallis surrendered. The war was over. For the first time, the colonies were free. The young nation was fragile but full of hope. They built a government by the people, for the people, something the world had never seen before. From the ashes of war rose a symbol of liberty that still inspires the world today. The road to freedom was long and hard, but it began with ordinary men and women who dared to dream of liberty. Today, the United States stands as a living reminder that freedom is never given, it is earned, and that one voice, one dream, can change history. Freedom is the heartbeat of a nation.